G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Av Chase from BCF Chatswood and Team Chase Current. Today I've been told by the big fella Jono that I can catch fish on good rods. I can catch fish on low range rods, and now I'm gonna have to go out and catch fish on
the Barbie rod.
Barbie rod.
So yeah, basically we're going to be heading out tomorrow. We're going to try and catch some brim and flathead on a Barbie rod. So it's going to be a fair old whack of a challenge, but one I'm up for. It's always interesting coming in here and being told what I'm going to go out and do and what's going to challenge me. So I need it after Victoria. And before I begin, I'm going to say that I am the main reason you should be wearing sunscreen on the boat. I'm blistered up all over my mouth, and if you're not wearing sunscreen on the boat, please do. Please don't end up like me. This hurts so much. So yeah, definitely some sunscreen will help. I've already picked out all my lures and stuff. I've been walking around with Jono. He's given me pretty much all the lures I'm going to need. So first up, I'm going to be throwing some slippery dogs. So I've got the slippery dogs there, and I've also got a Pro Lure hard body. I'm not sure how far I'm going to be able to get casts out of this rod, so I've gone some heavier stuff there. I've got a couple of packets of the baby shrimp, the gulp baby shrimp, and a couple packets of the gulp crabby. If you do come into BCF Chatswood and speak to all the staff here, they know what they're doing, especially Jono. He's pretty handy with knowing the lures and stuff for the type of fish you're wanting to target. And if you're really not sure, come and have a look at the stand here. It's on the second row as you walk in. It's got all my recommended lures and things like that for Sydney Harbour. We've got, it goes from your grubs to your eco gear, the aqua brim prawn. Got all your hard bodies, your top water, and the jig heads there. Pro Spec leader, which is a staple in my tackle box. And on my videos, you can see exactly how I do things. So you reckon we're going to go all right or what?
It'll be fun, be a challenge. I mean, you can find the fish, but whether you can actually land the fish is going to be the next issue. So all I can say is good luck.
What line is that? Oh, Jesus.
4 pound.
4 pound, you reckon?
Yeah, it broke pretty easily when I was tying on the eyelet there. So
beautiful. Well, I'm up for the challenge. As I said, if you need any advice, pop down to BCF Chatswood. This place knows what they're doing. So I'm going to have my little man with me. I'm not sure if he's going to come out tomorrow. It depends on the weather. Brocky, do we love BCF? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What about Jono? Is Jono your friend?
Yeah.
Yeah? What are we going to go and catch?
Brim.
Brim? Flathead?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Good. Righto, that's it from me. Let's get out there. Well, good morning. It is the day of the Barbie rod. So first up, I've come out to one of my favourite estuaries actually, instead of usual Middle Harbour and things like that. Just because it's a little bit more flats fishing, it's a little bit less structure and things like that than I'm used to. Yes, my lip is still knackered, just noticing that in the camera. And so with no drag on this Barbie rod, I think I'm going to need all the help I can get. So I'm going to be throwing the slippery dog. I've got the 80 mil. I wanted the smaller one, but there was none in stock. I was sold out. So got the 80 mil slippery dog on the Barbie rod, the beautiful Barbie rod there. I have no idea how this is going to cast. I don't know how to cast it. So that's really annoying. Oh, there we go. Doesn't have a wonderful action to get this slippery dog moving, so the crankbait might be the go today, I think. Definitely not going to be able to throw some light plastic, so I might have to throw some heavy ones. But let's get into it. I'm going to shoot around to the bank that I like here, and we'll have a look. Hopefully there's some fish around because it looks good enough for them. It's been a long time since I've fished here, so let's go. So as I just said, I've just pulled up on a flat, throwing the slippery dog around. I'm in about 0.4 of a metre of water, so we'll see how we go. Again, how am I supposed to cast this thing, honestly? But look, we're going to give it a run. Obviously I have got my lockers full of my rods, so if we get halfway through the day and this is killing me, then I'll probably give it up. But I do have some confidence. I mean, it's early morning. There's a bit of wind on this bank, so we'll see how we go. It's shallow. It looks nice, so let's get into it. Let's throw a few lures. Okay, that's impossible. So what I'm doing now is I'm moving around the other side of the bank. I want to be casting downwind because this rod has no casting distance, and that's something that you can implement a lot of the time if you can't either get your boat up to something, or the flat's a little bit too far away or something like that, and you want that little bit extra casting distance. Cast it downwind. It's not you know you don't have to throw into the wind or downwind or crosswind. I prefer into the wind, but that's just me. There is a fair bit going on that sounder, but there is a lot of mullet in this system, so we'll sort of come around here and have a look. That's better. It may look like I'm ripping this rod really hard. I'm not. It's because it's so short, I need to rip it hard to get that line movement. Definitely better casting downwind. Definitely a lot better. Actually getting some proper distance out of it. Oh no, disaster has befallen me. Oh, an absolute disaster has befallen me here. Oh, not the Barbie rod. Oh no, disaster. Hooked myself. Oh, the Barbie rod. Oh, this is bad news. Oh. Oh no. I think the Barbie rod's finished. Can't cast it anymore. This is a disaster. So I've taken off the slippery dog. It was going good. It got the boils and stuff, but I had fish following it, but nothing was sort of committing to it. And I'm only going to assume because it was the biggest slippery dog and the caliber of brim in here is not the same as where I usually fish. So I have to be wary of that. That brim don't, like the smaller brim in here. I won't take the bigger one. I'm just going to say that. I don't know if that's legit, but I mean, if they're hungry, they'll take anything. Atomic crank. I know I had the Pro Lure one, but I had this one already out of the packet, so I may as well give it a go. No, can't feel whether it's swimming or hitting the bottom or anything. There's literally no movement in this rod tip. But that's okay. We will adapt, improvise, and overcome this issue. I've got one. Oh my God, I've got one. Oh, it's got drag. I didn't know it had drag. I don't know what this is. It might be a flounder. It's a brim. Oh, it's a decent little brim for an ear. Oh my God. Oh, that was the hardest fight of my life for a small brim. Oh, wow. That's probably nearly 30. Oh my God. The Barbie rod, oh, atomic crank, straight over the flats. Like third cast of the atomic crank. Oh my God. That's sick. And I didn't know this reel had drag, but it does. You can't adjust it, but it definitely has drag. Oh, look at that, eh? Doesn't get much better than that. I'll give you a look. Oh, wowie. Oh, that's sick. As much as the fight was difficult and not knowing that this reel had drag and things like that, like that was a lot of fun. Like you got to be so gentle not to bust it off. I just can't. You can't even feel the fish. Yep, there's another one. Listen to that reel scream. Oh no. Don't go down that hole. This is ridiculous. Oh my God. Another little one. Oh man, this is so much fun. Tell you what, Atomic better sign me for this crap. Jesus Christ. And Shakespeare. More Atomic. I'm catching brim on their lures on a bloody Barbie rod. 2 in 2 casts. God, this thing sucks for casting. Oh, you can't even feel the fish. Maybe I'm using it upside down. This is ridiculous. See, I knew this flat held fish. It was just a matter of what lure are they going to take. They didn't have any interest in a slippery dog, which is weird because I love the slippery dog. Like my two favorite top waters are the slippery dog and the Berkeley slurps, and that's because they're very similar. The slippery dog sits down more, like when on the paws, it sits quite vertically, and that's something that I think is a big advantage. I do change the Berkeley slurps. They don't come with the assist hook, so I do change them to have the assist hooks on it. But I do love both of them. Definitely the slippery dog and definitely the Berkeley slurp. The Pro Lure one's good. I find it a little bit too small. So actually for this type of fishing, the Pro Lure is probably the way to go. I don't know. They just won't take it this morning. I think there might not be enough wind on this flat. But they're taking the crankbait. So for all those commenters to say, what lure are you using? I'm using the Atomic shallow crank. I don't know what color it is. It's like a dark brown. sort of thing. But it's a shallow because I'm in 0.4 of water. Yeah, I can't be more specific than that. That's the lure there. So hopefully that focuses properly. But yeah, that's it there. And guys, I just want to sort of say, like, this type of fishing, I mean, I hardly fish flats. I have a few times, but after going to Victoria and that being a massive eye-opener for me, that flats fishing's like the mecca when it comes to the bigger fish in those sort of systems. Like, this fishing you can do anywhere. Like, you don't have to have a boat like mine. You can do it out of a canoe. You can do it out of on the land. You can go land-based and just walk out in waders and fish flats. Like, it's it's a really good way to fish. And I had someone comment the other day saying like $100 setup, $100 challenge, but in a 30K boat. And that sort of annoyed me a bit. Most comments don't annoy me, but that one annoyed me a bit because the fishing that I do, I don't go deep sea like a lot of the YouTubers. I don't, fly around and fish in some dangerous areas and stuff. Like, I'm all estuary, like things you can do in a kayak, things you can do in a tinny. Like, you don't have to have. I started in a tinny. I learned how to do this in a tinny. So, um, you don't have to have that 30K boat or whatever. And by the way, this is not a 30K boat. I didn't get this for anywhere near 30 grand. Yeah, it's probably got that sort of stuff in it, but I don't use my sounder like a lot. Like, I use it for depth and that's it. Like, I don't have live scope. I don't have any of that sort of stuff. So it's not, you can do this stuff in a kayak. So get out there, and most of the stuff I can do land-based as well. So get out there, give it a go. All I'm trying to do here is have some fun and show you guys like what I do and why I love the fishing. And, as I said, anyone can do this. Anyone can cast it out over a flat and drag it in. You just got to know where you're at. So any flat that's got weed or it's got sand patches with weed on it and things like that, if you can fish those sort of areas, there's going to be fish there. Like, that's where they're living, especially flathead and bream. Like in Sydney, flathead and bream are, everywhere. They're in pretty much every system. In saying that, flathead are pretty resilient. So are bream. Like, I've caught them where the water's pretty fresh. It's got a entry to the ocean, but the water itself's pretty fresh. You catch bass in there. So, any sort of inlet, any sort of system that's connected to the ocean, I mean, you will get it. Like, there's DY Lagoon. I've always wanted to go and try and fish because it just looks really flathead sort of area. And that's supposed to be pretty fresh. So, get out there, find some new spots, find some things like that. Like, you're more than welcome to come and poach my spots, but I don't mind if I see you out on one of my flats or on one of the rock walls that I fish or something like that. Go for your life. But I learned to do this by exploring. Obviously, tournament fishing, I've learned from a few of the big guns in the tournament world. But when you're free fishing, go and discover new places. There's nothing like turning up to a new place and catching a fish in somewhere that you've done no research on. Like, you've just looked at it and gone, hey, that looks good. Yep. Barbie. Oh, Barbie. Oh, this is a good one. It's not as good as the first one. Oh my god. Oh yeah. Look at that. Look at that for a machine of a fishing rod. This is what we love. Bit of Barbie action. Margot Robbie would be so proud of me right now. Margot, let's do a collab. Let's do a collab with the Barbie rods. There you go. Another one on the Barbie rod. It's a pretty good little one. Like, for in here, they don't get very big. So, you know, good colours. Very silver, very healthy. Bit chunky through the middle, which is nice. But get him back in the water. I think I'm going to swap up and go my... Hang on. I think I'm going to swap up and go my my hyper now. I think I want to run through a few things about that. I've proven that I can catch fish on that rod. Like, it's just going to get repetitive and boring. So, yeah, there you go. That's the machine. I think they retail, if you're interested in them for your fishing, they retail for around that $30 mark, I think. They come with 6-pound monofilament. It's made by Shakespeare, and it's got gel-tech grips that are just plastic. There's a little bit of rubber on the bottom there. It does cause blisters. The drag sucks, the casting sucks, and the reel ratio sucks. But $30, in all honesty, if you want a rod for your kids, if you're a bait fisher and you want a rod for your kids, something that just drops straight down, very easy to use, no tangles, this is the way to go. And I'm serious. I'm dead serious about that. Like, I'm not just standing here taking the piss about it. I'm dead serious about this being a decent little rod for kids. There's a lot on the market that I would prefer over this one, but they're all egg beater reels. They're all those reels that kids might struggle with catching fish on. So definitely have a look at it, like, just for a bit of fun. But God, I've had a ball today. Like, this has been real sick. So we'll get the hyper out, and we'll I'll run the rest of the video on the hyper, give you guys some idea of the new stuff I've got in the boat. So what a machine of a rod. So as I said, I had a ball on the Barbie rod, and now it's time to throw a proper rod around. This is my new TD Hyper. So this came out a little while ago from Daiwa. It's been hard for me to get my hands on. So it's a Team Daiwa Hyper. I've got the lightest one you can get. So it's the 23 TD Hyper, the 702. And it's 1 to 5 gram cast weight and 1 to 2 kilo rod. So I've got it paired up with a TD Black MQ2000, I think. Yep. And I've got 6-pound braid. Now I'm running 4-pound leader, and I wish I wasn't, because I'm going to be chasing flathead and brim, but I'm going to be using that Pro Lure crankbait over another set of flats. I don't have any 6-pound leader. I've only got the boat with 4 on it, all my 6 pounds in the car. So we'll see how we go. This Pro Lure crankbait looks really good. It's not the same as what I usually use. I use the Atomics, the Berkeley 3Ds, and the Roland crank, the Daiwa Roland crank. My first time actually throwing the Daiwa Rolling crank was in Vic, and it pulled some big fish. And then I threw the Berkeley 3D, and it pulled some big fish as well, which was nice. So I'm going to tie this all on now, and we're going to give it a good run, I think. So stay tuned. It'll be funny if I catch 3 brim on a Barbie rod and catch nothing on the hyper. That would be quite the scenario, but expect a lot of lost fish if there's flathead around, because 4-pound, if they hook themselves down the mouth, if they attack it, those teeth will burn you big time. And for those of you who are wondering what leader I use, so I do use the 6-pound in this one. It's the Pro Spec. This is the 4, but I do use the 6. But if I'm fishing 4-pound, the X-Link FC J thread is what I'll use. I just find the abrasion resistance a little bit better than the Pro Spec, but in the thicker one, so the 6 or 8, I will use the Pro Spec. So that's what I'm throwing today. That's just what I've got in the boat. So let's get into it. So when you're throwing crankbaits like I am right now, you want them bashing into the bottom. This is something I really learned over the last 2 weeks. You want them really crashing into the bottom, and right now it's not. So I might be changing up. I might be changing to a Xeric or something, I think. I do have another rod rigged up with a shallow crank. So I might pause it here and yeah, it's just not hitting the bottom. If we find shallower water, I definitely will throw the shallow crank, but right now I'm going to put a Xeric, I think it's a Xeric 50, or no, I think that's a Xeric 44. I can't remember, but I am going to put that on. I just like the look of it. I haven't actually thrown one yet, so they're new in the boat as well. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, you want them crashing into the bottom, and I'm bashing around in the sand and causing chaos on the bottom. If you don't have that, so basically the reason you do that is one for the flathead and two for the brim. So the brim will chase it because they see something that they like, and the flathead are sitting on the bottom waiting for something to come past. So, and usually with the flatties, they'll hit it a few times, whereas the brim will come up and just smash it, and that'll be that. And that's, I want the flathead to hit it a few times because I don't want them to smash it down their jaws and then bust me off. So we'll give that a go. There's the Xeric there. Yeah, we'll give that a run and see how it goes. There's another bite. Come on, grab it. Still on it. There's one. Had about 10 goes at it. There we go. Brim on the hyper and on the Xeric. Cool. It had about 1,000,000 goes at that. It just went peck, 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 and then finally I just let it do its thing. And I only just pinned it as well. Ow. Come here. Come here. Just another decent little brim, like for in here. But that was on the Xeric, just bashing it into the ground. There's a lot of weed here, so it's getting a little bit frustrating. But and then on the hyper again, so you know, it's all going well so far. We'll get him back. Little one. Yep. There's another one. Just a little one. What is it? Hey, whiting. Add that in. Whiting on the Xeric. There you go. Little whiting. Another species on the list. Still looking for that flathead though. I haven't found one yet. Which is weird for in here. Although this did just open, so they might be all flooded to the front. Yep. It feels like a... Oh. I don't know. Feels like a flathead. No, it's a brim. That's a good brim for in here. Wow. Hey. Get you back in the water. There's another brim. On that black Berkeley 3D shallow crank. Yeah, it's a good brim for in here. You'd be 32, I guess. Yeah, it's just going pretty well. That hyper sticks, can put up some stick on him. It's got a really light tip. Get him back. It's got a really, really light tip, which is always good for this type of fishing. You want a lot of forgiveness in the tip. Whereas I prefer a stiffer tip on when I'm fishing heavy structure. So this rod's perfect for that, and it's yeah, really, really forgiving. I'm loving it. The TD Black is good as well. I like the TD Black reels. I don't know if I like them more than the Aired LT. Considering they're double the price, you'd think that they'd be a better reel, but I don't know. I've just, as you guys know, I've got a special place in my heart for the Aired LT. They just feel unreal. If they're a, yeah, really, really solid reel. But yeah, this setup, this combo is pretty man. Righto, I'm back on the Barbie rod now. I won't stay on this for long because I want to get some flathead in the boat. But I've gone the Barbie rod, 1/12, 2-inch baby shrimp. Let's get into it. Oh, what a beautiful first cast from the Barbie machine. Had a Barbie bite. Yep, there's a Barbie fish. Oh, I think I lost it. No, it's still there. Don't know what it is. It's small, I think. Must be swimming straight towards me. We got a flathead on the Barbie rod. We got a flathead on the Barbie rod. Look at that. A beauty of a flathead on the Barbie rod. Oh, they've come out to play for the pink machine. A cracker. Ow. Every time I just get spiked. Let's hoik that back out there. Let that do its thing. Put that like this. Yes. You never know what can happen with the Barbie machine. Boy, oh boy. Alright, that's the end from me today. The Barbie rod. How much fun was that? That took me by surprise actually. Like, it was crap. It was really bad, but it caught fish and yeah, had a heap of fun on it. And then obviously the TD Hyper. That was a lot of fun. Again, I just wanted to show you all what was new in my boat at the moment and what I'm using. And this is the one that's standing out for me with the TD Black MQ on it. But yeah, it was an awesome little challenge to come out with that Barbie rod and give all this a go. Like, you've got to have fun with it. I know I get pretty serious, especially with my practice for tournaments and things like that. But yeah, a few people saw I didn't do so great in Victoria, and I was pretty down about that. So Jono gave me the task of coming out and throwing the pink thing around and hopefully getting a few fish on it, which we did. A lot of brim, got a flatty. So I hope you've really enjoyed this, guys. Make sure you jump over to my Instagram at Team Traces Current. Give me a follow there, and put a like on this video, put a comment down, and yeah, I really appreciate all the people that support me and all the people that watch the videos and things like that. So that's it from me. Enjoy. I will see you next time.